Hello, hello, ma'am.
Hi.
Welcome to our uh, today's exciting podcast brought by Moon Memorial Trust, an organization dedicated to creating impactful social change, particularly in building care awareness and health. This organization is founded. I am Aniket after the loss of my mother to cancer. Moon Memorial Trust works tirelessly empower individuals through education, awareness, and support the cancer patients. Our mission is to touch lives, spark change, and ultimately impact 5 million people in next 5 years. I am honored to be joined today by two distinguished experts who are shaping the future of medical science. First, we have Dr. K. Kalele, a renowned oral histopathologist with a remarkable career in oral pathology and oncology and cancer awareness. Dr. Kalele is a dedicated member of the Indian Extracellular Vesicle Society and the Malaysian Extracellular Vesicle Society. She is the visionary founder of NAME and the director of Earth Research Innovations Private Limited. Her extensive contributions later have earned her prestigious accolades such as the Women Leadership Award in 2022 and Best Research Paper by the Asia Pacific Dental Association in 2021. I am also pleased to introduce our advisor and today's host, Mr. Swarup Chona, a leading expert in extracellular research and liquid biopsy. Swarup is an active member of both the Indian Cellular Research Society and the International Society of Liquid Biopsy. He has made significant contributions to cancer research, particularly in exosome-based cancer medicine and development of biomarkers for early cancer diagnosis. Currently, he conducts research at the Center for Global Health Research at Savitribai College and in Chennai. Together, we will explore cutting edge. So, our first episode is Behind the White Coat, the journey from to, and it's titled Beyond the Smile, Oral Cancer Insights. So, I would like to host Mr. Swarup Sonar, and it's up to you now.
Thank you, Mr. Das. And I would like to extend a warm welcome to Dr. Ketki Kalele, an expert person in the domain of clinical research and industry personality. She is contributing her significant contribution to the clinical research to translate in medicine domain in a clinical practice. So that's why our episode, our this series name entitled Behind the Lab Coat, Behind the White Coat, the journey from lab to clinic. Yeah, actually, these scientists are facing so many hurdles, challenges. They are overcoming every day, every challenges to clinically translate this into the clinical practices. So I would like to request you, first of all, to introduce your research background to our audience. What are you doing right now to clinically translate your research in the industry level?
Well, a very good evening, Mr. Das and
Thank you.
Swaroop.
Good evening.
Well,
And, uh,
first of all, I would like to really extend a very warm congratulations to both of you for this great initiative. Actually, we all talk about these days so much about how we are going towards derogacy in terms of healthcare, in terms of mistrust among the patients towards doctors, in terms of adulteration in food. contributing to so many major ailments, including cancer. But very few people are talking about hopes. Very few people are talking about what exactly science is offering today. Very few people are recognizing the efforts behind and beyond the white coat and of white coat also. So first of all, applauds to you for taking up this really, translational topic to actually understand what the science has to offer. Well, I'm Dr. Ketki Karele Bhokre. I'm an oral histopathologist and oncologist by profession, but researcher at heart. And because of spending so many years in academics as well as in my clinic, one thing was absolutely pricking my mind was no matter how much research you do on a white paper, it is always better if you could translate it for the betterment of the society. Your research should at least contribute to day-to-day healing of pain, not even if you are saving a life, but at least something to do with the betterment of the human race. And for that reason, we started with our startup, which is Workas Research and Innovations Private Limited. And in that startup, we are actually dealing with early detection of oral cancer via biosensor, via cutting edge simple technologies which are user friendly at the same time which are cost effective for patients, those who can detect their diseases by their own self at the comfort of their home, because in resource limited settings like India, very few patients actually take their steps for regular checkup to the medical facilities, and also medical facilities are not that available also in certain stratas. So for them, we are actually designing smaller devices, biosensors, which they can actually use from the comfort of their homes. Secondly, we are also dealing with the world's first fiction-based learning application for educating dental and medical students via very lucrative and very presentable tumor characterizations in the form of various characters, and so that they perceived it like a multimedia movies, which will actually give them long time retention of the classes. They can build better doctors for tomorrow as well as for laymen to understand basic pathologies and cancers. So both these products are, one is into the market already, other one is undergoing rigorous trials. Besides that, Swaroop and me are co-sharing certain projects on extravasculars, extravascular research as well as liquid biopsies. Hope for the best, to come in 2025 and years to come.
Exactly. We'll hope for a better future. So that is quite impressive. Your work is like significantly contributing to the medical research and the industry level also. You have your own company, as you explained. It is quite impressive. So today our topic is on oral cancer, and cancer is a very big question mark for clinicians also, and the patients who are getting diagnosed with cancer, they're like scared. They're getting very scared that I have diagnosed with cancer, so I think I have less time to be alive. So it's not like that. Scientists and clinical experts are working 24/7 for them. So if
Yes.
you can explain them what is the current scenario in India and globally, uh, basically in oral cancer domain, as a clinical practitioner and researcher.
Yes. So I would like to say that India is a major hub of oral cancers. Reason being, we know tobacco and tobacco related usage and products. So India is actually contributing to the 50% of the oral cancer burden across the globe. And every year we are approximately reporting around 177,000 new cases of oral cancer. And amongst those, around 80,000% death of oral cancer related deaths are also reported. More so globally, if you see, then the scenario is around 3 lakh to 350 lakh new cases of cancer, and 1 lakh 50,000 to 2 lakh, patients succumb to the disease, unfortunately. So this is huge, and it is among the second most common cancer in males in India and fourth most common in females. So the cases are on rise every year, and we are anticipating a peak also sometime. But this is all very unfortunate, Swaroop, I would like to say, because
Yeah,
oral cancer is one of the most preventable cancer. Simple, don't
yeah,
indulge in tobacco and related products, and you are sorted. And moreover, it is one of the most noticeable thing also. So to
yeah,
get detected at early stage is so much more possible with in cases of oral cancer, which unfortunately does not happen. And there are many questions in people's mind whenever they come to us as practitioners, that it's not कि हम लोग गुटखा खाते हैं, but जो लोग नहीं खाते उनमें भी oral cancer मिलता है. So I would like to say that
exactly.
yes, HPV related cancers are also on rise in India, but they are more so globally. I mean, along the West. But जो चीज हमारे हाथ में है, we should start from that at least, is what I would like to say.
Yeah, precaution is better than cure.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So like ऐसा कभी नहीं कि जो लोग गुटखा नहीं खाते हैं, जैसे मैम ने बोला है, उन लोगों का नहीं हो सकता है, बट डोंट वरी. एंड जो लोग जैसे भी हम लोग इसको रिड्यूस कर सकते हैं, जैसे भी हम लोग रिड्यूस कर सकते हैं, द चांसेस ऑफ गेटिंग म्यूटेड सेल को एबनॉर्मल म्यूटेशन से जितना हो सकता है हम लोगों के तरफ से हम लोग कर सकते हैं. So it was a well explanation of the current scenario in oral cancer all over the globe and in India basically. So in future, which type of cancer research is coming up with modern approaches? Like, if you can explain it.
Yeah, there are like many approaches, but including nanomedicines, including exosomes, and what particularly we are dealing with are the extravesicular research upon cancer. And to elaborate it more, I would like to say that extracellular vesicle matlab kya? So they are actually, as the name suggests, they are extracellular vesicles. कोशिकाओं के जो ऊपरी परत है, उनके कुछ छोटे छोटे अणु या पार्टिकल्स होते हैं, जो एक सेल का दूसरी सेल से कम्युनिकेशन एस्टैब्लिश करते हैं और हमें बताते हैं कि व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज गोइंग इनसाइड. ठीक है ना? तो ये जो कम्युनिकेटर्स है, इनके एक्सट्रैक्शन से हम लोग बहुत कुछ आंसर्स हमको मिल सकते हैं. दे आर द की टू सो मेनी थिंग्स, इंक्लूडिंग अर्ली डिटेक्शन, जैसे हमारी लार या सलाइवा में, हमारे यूरिन सैंपल्स में, इवन ब्रेस्ट मिल्क में, हर जगह पे एक्स्ट्रा सेल्यूलर वेसिकल्स होते हैं. सेल्स के ही अपने खुद के वो अणु होते हैं. तो इनके थ्रू
जी.
हमें अंदरूनी एनवायरनमेंट के बारे में पता चलता है. कैंसर को बहुत पहले ही हम लोग भाप सकते हैं और अकॉर्डिंगली हम लोग इंटरवेंशन स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं. अलॉन्ग विद दैट, जैसा हर एक इंसान अलग है, उसका डिजीज भी अलग होता है, हर एक कैंसर अलग होता है ना? तो पर्सनलाइज्ड मेडिसिन हम लोग अप्रोच ला सकते हैं वाया एक्स्ट्रा सेल्यूलर वेसिकल रिसर्च, जो ज्यादा रिस्पॉन्सिव हो सकता है कैंसर, जैसे हम एक पर्सन के फितरत पे उसका मेडिसिन देते हैं. तो दैट में भी
हाँ जी.
कस्टमाइज्ड मेडिसिन में प्रूव टू बी मोर more responsive. The cancer may be more responsive to that. And thirdly, what I feel about extracellular is the drug target therapy. I love that thing about it, because ऐसा बोलते हैं कि कैंसर से ज्यादा उसकी ट्रीटमेंट खतरनाक होती है. बहुत सारे पेशेंट्स को तो एडवांस स्टेजेस में रेकमेंड भी नहीं किया जाता है बहुत सी बार, बिकॉज द साइड इफेक्ट्स ऑफ कीमो एंड रेडिएशन आर रियली पेनफुल. So, through this research, maybe only the targeted cells, the cancer cells would only be, treated, and healthy cells would be preserved, which can in future, lessen the toxicity of chemotherapy related things. And there are so many more sustainable options. Along with that, liquid biopsies भी, जैसे मैंने कहा है कि patient at the comfort of their homes maybe they can have certain sensors that can detect their circulating tumor cells जो हमारे ब्लड में सर्कुलेट होते हैं. तो इन सब चीजों का अभी बहुत ज्यादा ट्रायल्स में है एंड आई एम होपिंग फॉर अ वेरी वेरी बेटर फ्यूचर फॉर ओरल कैंसर इन द
सो
कमिंग इयर्स.
जैसे कि अभी डॉक्टर कालेले ने डिस्क्राइब किया कि exosome is a hot topic in the field of in the domain of cancer research. It is creating a new hope to a modern technique to fight against cancer by early diagnosis through liquid biopsy technique. Usually जैसे कि Dr. Kalele has explained, there are several circulating biomarkers, exosome based biomarkers that we can detect that for early diagnosis of cancer and precise prognosis through liquid biopsy, and this is really interesting. So Dr. Kalele, what do you think, like in future exosome can contribute to the domain of oral cancer, particularly that can have a better treatment and with more survival rate or something like that? What do you feel?
Absolutely, Swaroop. As I was saying that, mostly the patients, now I'll just elaborate upon the survival rates as you rightly took up the topic. कि what is survival rate? Survival rate is कितने % chances है patient के 5 साल तक cancer free रहने में या जिंदा रहने में in very layman terms. So normally जब आप early detection या early stage में होते हो तो सर्वाइवल रेट इज अप टू 80%. मतलब 80% पेशेंट्स ये कैंसर से बचे रहेंगे एंड दे विल लीड अ नॉर्मल लाइफ. ओके. एंड सेम चीज अगर आप स्टेज 3 या स्टेज 4 के साथ आप रिपोर्ट करते हो तो ड्रास्टिकली इट गेट्स रिड्यूस टू ओनली 40 और 50% इन केस ऑफ एडवांस स्टेज OSCCs और ओरल कैंसर्स. सो हियर इज द होल गेम अबाउट ओरल कैंसर. फर्स्टली जैसे मैंने कहा है कि प्रिवेंटेबल है, आप जाओ ही मत, सेवन ही मत कीजिए ऐसी चीजों का जिन वजह से द म्यूटेशंस विल स्टार्ट. सेकेंडली, इफ एट ऑल आपको कोई भी खतरे की घंटी दिखती है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल ऐसा कोई छाला या जख्म जो बहुत दिनों से हील नहीं हो रही है मुंह के अंदर, या कोई भी सफेद या लाल कलर का चट्टा जो आपको परेशान कर रहा हो, जो दिख रहा हो, पॉसिबली कुड बी ऑफ ओरल कैंसर और प्री मैलिग्नेंसीज. नाउ इन्हीं चीजों के सिग्नल्स हमारे सलाइवरी एक्सोसोम्स में होते हैं फॉर इन केसेस ऑफ ओरल कैंसर. देर आर सर्टन लार में आने वाले कुछ बायोमार्कर्स जिनकी आजकल बाय द वे किट भी अवेलेबल है कमर्शियली, especially in US, that by various commercial names, जो आपको बहुत early on signals देती है that possibly you are susceptible for developing oral cancer. So this can contribute greatly for the patients to take care, to visit clinics and to show their whatever the condition is. Secondly, exosomes based cancer vaccines are also gaining lot of light these days. और अभी तक तो स्वरूप, आई वुड लाइक टू रियली मेक दिस अ पॉइंट कि अभी तक तो ऐसे था फॉर सर्वाइकल कैंसर्स देयर वर वैक्सीन्स, राइट? बट नाउ इवन फॉर हेड एंड नेक कैंसर्स, बिकॉज एक तो है HPV रिलेटेड वैक्सीन्स, because HPV human papilloma virus is the one of the causative agent even for oral cancers. So HPV related vaccinations are also coming, and even exosome based cancer vaccines be developed हो रहे हैं, which can eventually lead to preventive strategies for oral as well as head and neck cancers. So apart from that, as I've already told that this is about detection or early detection. There are many other things also in which extracellular vesicular research can contribute greatly, including the therapeutic side of oral cancer.
Great. So this is a new hope for even in oral cancer domain also, parallelly to the other cancers. And as she explained that oral cancer हम लोग विजिबली हम लोग इसको डायग्नोस कर सकते हैं. एटलीस्ट we can see that something is happening there. We can take suggestion from the experts, and कोई भी छाले हो या फिर कोई भी symptoms ऐसा, we can take a consultation from experts in this particular domain. So,
Correct.
Dr. Kalele, one very crucial question is, people are thinking that research is going on. It's okay. But is this research translating in the clinical level? Is that proven technique for the patients that they can take this type of treatment and they can live well? Like clinical level पे कितना research जा सकते हैं कि ये लोग सिर्फ उन लोगों के पीएचडी या पोस्ट डॉक के लिए तो सिर्फ नहीं कर रहे हैं. Like their duties, they are just presenting their duties, and they are just increasing number of papers. So I think आपका एक्सपर्ट ओपिनियन इन लोगों को थोड़ा भरोसा दे सकते हैं कि रिसर्चर्स आर रियली डूइंग देयर रिसर्च
Yes.
फॉर द society and the mankind. So please, your opinion, please.
Yes. Well, one of the very great examples is, हमने जो vaccine war movie, if at all we all have seen, that whether research translate नहीं हो पाता, तो we would have never combated the COVID wave. And we are very proud of our own Indian scientists who have developed one of the most effective as well as side effect free vaccine, which is the Covaxin. तो ये कैसे possible हुआ? It was the best example of translational
Correct.
research coming into life, and because our movie or Bollywood has got a great influence on humankind, at least in India, so through such movies and such initiatives people come to know, and that is how I would like to say कि ये हर जगह होता है. Of course, जब कोई चीज मैंडेटरी हो जाती है through the higher government bodies, people tend to increase their portfolios by adding more and more research papers. ये सब होता है. But of course, there are a percentage of it, and there is a very good percentage जहाँ पे premium institutes like IITs and AIIMS and everything, they are having a multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary research projects which are funded by government, which are coming and into the day of light. Otherwise हम लोगों को PET scans, MRIs, ये सब कहाँ से आए? These have all come through research. And I am extremely happy to say that now we all have come to a button click. तो हम भी प्रीमियम इंस्टीट्यूट्स एंड IITs के साथ कोलैबोरेट करके भी हमारी बायोसेंसर टेक्नोलॉजी भी उसी तरीके से वैलिडेट और डेवलप हो रही है. So it's something like it is a two-way thing. You have to keep faith on the researchers, and researchers have to keep faith on the society. कि उनके inventions भी for trials and for better feedback, society will also accept them.
Exactly. I appreciate and I totally support you, Dr. Kalele, that researchers, until or unless a research is translating in the industry level, and that is usable for the human being or mankind, it's contributing to the mankind. Till that time, researchers may have lot of publications, but that is not their success. So we are actually doing everything. Researchers, the well-known, reputed researchers, renowned researchers like Professor Dr. Jan Lodwell and Professor Xiao Hulin and Professor Dr. Hackoli, they're working on extracellular vesicles to bring a new era of precision medicine and personalized treatment, as Dr. Kalele has explained. So this is a new hope, and under the spotlight in clinical researchers and the clinicians. So we can have a collaborative ecosystem to translate it in the clinical level. Actually, she explained very clearly, neat and clean, that our vaccine development is a very good example that we can do it. We can manufacture in the industry level, and that is usable.
Yeah,
that
and
is really usable.
implementation to the society level, great example is polio, right, Swaroop?
Yeah,
Polio was
exactly.
developed by the researchers, implemented by the society, and India was able to eradicate it. So this is how the hand-in-hand support of the society and the research and clinicians plus technology. So this is एक multidisciplinary दृष्टिकोण की जरूरत है in which we all can
Exactly.
join hands.
Exactly. So you have several publications in Scopus Index journals and few renowned journals. So uh, आप जैसे कि एक्सप्लेन किए ये एक एक्स्ट्रासेलुलर वेसिकल्स कोशिका का कुछ पार्टिकल्स है जो इसको हम लोग यूज कर रहे हैं बिकॉज दे आर प्लेइंग द की रोल इन इंट्रासेलुलर कम्युनिकेशन. So we are taking that particle to characterize and to analyze the cancer in a better way. So recently we have published one article in Royal Society of Chemistry, Sustainable Food Technology. Even in fruit, from the fruit, we can take this nanoparticle, tiny vesicles, and we can use for fight against cancer. So you were the expert person along with Dr. Vetriselvan Subramanian in that paper. So could you please explain that to our audience?
Yeah, what I as a clinician, Vetriselvan sir and his team and of all scientists, actually you people are very much expert, have that expertise on extractions and making the DNAs and RNAs, you know, as a mode of delivery. But what as a clinician, my expertise or what my interest lies in that what problem is it going to solve ultimately? Because as I rightly said, that the purest form of extracellular vesicle therapy was from the cancer stem cells in the bone marrow. But now even cancer develops from stem cells. So it was a two-edged sword जो you know cancer का growth भी promote कर सकता था या फिर cancer को combat भी कर सकता था. So when एक plant exosome या फिर you know fruit exosome आता है into picture, so it is devoid of many toxic effects that you know other cellular line or lineage can give.
Exactly.
सो टॉक्सिसिटी को अगर हम कॉम्बैट कर पा रहे हैं इन अ वेरी सस्टेनेबल वे, सो नथिंग कैन बीट इट इन द फ्यूचर. फॉर एग्जाम्पल केमोथेरेपी इंड्यूस साइड इफेक्ट्स जो मैंने बात की थी, तो उस चीज पे भी हमको एक बहुत अच्छा सस्टेनेबल सोल्यूशन मिल जाएगा इफ फ्रूट एक्सोसोम्स एंड इफ प्लांट एक्सोसोम्स आर यू नो आर इनटू प्रॉपर प्ले यू नो टू देयर हाईएस्ट पोटेंशियल. So I think that paper speaks a lot about it, and that's why such a prestigious journal have accepted it in a very open-armed way, yes, and I'm very happy about it.
It was my pleasure to work with you and Professor Dr. Vetriselvan Subramanian, a renowned
Same here,
expert
sir.
in this particular domain, who tirelessly working on this extracellular vesicles and cancer research. So, Dr. Kalele, you have published even several articles in Scopus journals, and like you have published in Liquid Biopsy also. So, what would you like to explain what is liquid biopsy actually in a very simplest way to our audience?
See, biopsy is known to everyone. अभी तो biopsy word आया कि patient or या layman, you know, they have their antennas on regarding खतरा, you know. So biopsy is taking a sample, okay. तो हम यूजुअली कैंसर्स में सॉलिड बायोप्सीज लेते हैं जहाँ पे मांस का टुकड़ा हम जांच के लिए लेते हैं. Whereas it is what to say, it is a very technique sensitive process. आपको सर्जन की जरूरत पड़ती है, आपको एक स्किल्ड पर्सन की जरूरत पड़ती है, एक हिस्टोपैथोलॉजिस्ट की जरूरत पड़ती है, ऑल दैट. Whereas अभी लिक्विड बायोप्सीज ने ऑटोमेटेड कर दी है चीजें. फॉर एग्जाम्पल जो कैंसर के जो सेल्स अपने ट्यूमर में से छूट के ब्लड में फ्लो होते हैं, वो कैंसर सेल्स भी हम लोग एक ब्लड सैंपल के यू नो वाया वी कैन हैव द डायग्नोसिस ऑफ अ कैंसर via machine and a sample collector. So that is liquid biopsy. And you know, US has got a patent known as cell search, jahan pe you know a patient just have to give a blood sample and they will tell them ki what is the treatment stage, how will the drug responsiveness of the patient be, और ये सारी चीजें means we are going beyond the conventional things. हमें biopsy हमें टिश्यू बायोप्सी से हमें 4 पैरामीटर्स अगर पता चल रहे हैं, तो वाया ऑटोमेशन टेक्नोलॉजी यूज एंड थिंग्स लाइक लिक्विड बायोप्सी हम उसका कुंडली हम लोग निकाल सकते हैं
Even
कैंसर।
precisely.
Very precisely, yeah. We are going to give a
Yeah.
horoscope maybe of that cancer.
Really, really impressive,
So,
really impressive.
yeah, so we can go beyond the conventional barriers, and yes, India is striving towards it, I guess.
Great. That's great. That's great. So, this is a new hope for cancer research. Our this podcast series is just on the basis of the white behind the white code, the journey from lab to clinic. So, this is the thing, interesting thing, like. What is the actual journey from lab to clinic? What researchers are facing nowadays? The issues they are facing from lab to clinic. Why research is taking more time to clinically translate and all? And like we can't help it. Like this is a time taking procedure. So आप अगर easy language में अगर explain कर सकते हैं हमारे audience को.
Yeah, lab to clinic journey is extremely critical because as I said that हम लोगों को as clinicians we do not know what is going in the lab. Lab people doesn't know what exactly is the requirement of a clinician. Our curriculums are so designed. So I guess it's better to get collaborations, more and more collaborations. And India has got wonderful schemes under Startup Indias and all, wherein बहुत सारे incubation houses खुल चुके हैं by various molecular centers, जहां पे उन्होंने एक रूफ के अंडर they have given all the facilities right from molecular research to technology based to clinical trials on the patients as well. So when this kind of collaborative environment जो अभी start हुआ है and काफी हद तक implement भी हो रही है चीजें. Now if you know Toothsy जो अभी orthodontic appliance है which has coming largely into the market, you can treat your malalignment of teeth again from comfort of your home. So such things are
Mhm.
coming and looking at the day of light. But what I feel is still when it comes to crucial and life-threatening diseases, उतने rigorous trials, उतने साल, उतना accuracy rate जब तक आता नहीं है, one cannot implement it for sure. And regulatory process are also a major hurdle in all this process, this journey from lab to clinic, which actually हमने भी उतना टाइम उनको देना चाहिए because anything and everything cannot come and become successful. So obviously phase 4 trials तक जितने regulatory compliances है उनको टाइम लगता है. But what we can do is because of what notion I have started Neuron Institute of Applied Research, कि जो छोटे छोटे फाइंडिंग्स है डे टू डे के डॉक्टर्स के एक्सपीरियंसेस है थ्रू ट्रीटिंग सो मेनी पेशेंट्स, दैट कैन कम इनटू सेंट्रली, और वो चीजें हम लोग पब्लिश करते हैं जहां पे कुछ चीजों पे डिफरेंट अप्रोच लिया, कुछ हार्ट ब्लॉकेजेस पे कोई ड्रग ने काम किया, किसी ने नहीं किया. ये जो फाइंडिंग्स है ये हम लोग लाते हैं सामने. We publish them at international level. At the same time, Swaroop, we also give news in the local newspapers so that
Mhm.
people also come to know that so and so doctor has done such research which got published, and hence छोटे छोटे experimentations or experiences को भी, which is very much a research, we are hoping and giving them platforms so that people should come to know कि ऐसे भी होता है research. It's not always molecular. It sometimes is into clinic with doctors' own experiences.
That's great. That's great. Really, we are grateful, and the entire human being should grateful to the scientists and the clinical practitioners. They are tirelessly working for like 24 into 7. They are working for the cancer patients. And that is a hope for cancer patients also. No need to worry, as Dr. Kalele has explained us. That is very simple thing. We are working from our end, and she is the one who is playing the both side role from lab to clinic. That's why she is our first guest to explain share her expertise and insights, valuable insights, because she is playing a crucial role in clinical research laboratories, as well as she is addressing the particular crucial issues to translate the medicine and the instruments or biosensors or something like can be in launched in the industry. So she has introduced her neuron to address these issues, and we can get a new hope very soon. So that's why today the time with Dr. Kalele, it's perfect for the journey from lab to clinic. And thanks a lot, ma'am,
Thank you.
for your
Thank you.
expert opinion and your expertise. You are contributing your tireless effort to the clinical research, and I think mankind can thankful to scientists, renowned
Yes,
scientists like you.
definitely. I
Yeah,
think they are the biggest heroes of and very much need of an hour. And once again, I would like to conclude by saying this, Swaroop, that research needs to be glamorized because
yeah,
whatever is
Yes,
marketed, whatever is presented well, that is
yeah,
consumed. So,
exactly.
so lage raho for this very, very noble cause, and I'm extremely happy to be a part of it. And
Yeah.
just wish you all the very best.
So yeah, so Neuron is working to address the issues, and Moon Memorial Trust is also working to deliver this type of works from Neuron to human being. So
Yes, yes.
even I appreciate the tireless effort of Mr. Aniket Das has taken the
thank you
initiative
so much.
to establish this Moon Memorial Trust, and trust me, this initiative can really contribute to the mankind and the humanity for like placebo. There is a terminology, placebo. If we are together, then we can fight against cancer. We are together.
We are together,
So
yes.
Yes,
yeah, so thanks a lot, ma'am, for your expert opinion and insights. We are pleased to have you this evening. So we'll have another day, another meeting, another insightful topic.
Thank you so much.
Thank
thank you so
you,
much.
thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
thank you so much to Aniket Das. Thank you so much to Dr. Kalele. I think bye for today.
Yeah, bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye.
Okay, sure.